Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm leaving tomorrow for home for winter break, and now I'm in the middle of packing and my room is a hot mess, but I can't. I need to take a break. Today I am making a video about the favorites. So things that makes me happy in the past like 3 or 4 months. I know for a lot of videos, people talk about things that they bought that are useful and brings them value in life. And I think I benefit a lot from watching those videos, but I certainly do have this voice in the back of my head that tells me that those videos actually promote a unhealthy idea of consumerism, because it kind of tells you constantly that you need to buy more stuff, when in fact I think most of us don't really need anything anymore. Like, we just want things, but it's actually kind of wasteful to keep purchasing. So yeah, I don't think I want to be among the people who are telling people to buy more things, and I also am not really enthusiastic about like buying things. I guess I am very stingy when it comes to spending money. But with that being said, I think if I were to make like a favorite video, I'd rather talk about like music, movie, and songs I've listened to. So that's gonna be the things I mainly talk about in this video. So if you're interested, keep watching. So yeah, the first song I want to recommend, or the artist I want to recommend, is Phineas. I didn't know Billie Eilish had a brother who's so talented until like 2 weeks ago. So I listened to his album Bloody Harmony, and every song in that album is so good. One of my favorite songs in the album is Let's Fall in Love for the Night. And it's just so romantic, and it's in a sweet melancholy way. It's about like a guy who like enjoys spending time with this girl, but the girl is like, not his to keep, but he's fine with it. But also, is he fine with it? Who knows? Next, I'm gonna be talking about a book that I read and enjoyed in the summer. It is Normal People by Sally Rooney. I actually have it on hand. Looks like this. And yeah, it is a story about a boy and a girl who came from the same town. They went to the same high school and then went to proceed into the same college, and just their whole journey together as friends, but also as two persons who are very codependent in a way. It's hard to put a label on the relationship they have, but I think that's exactly the point that the story is trying to tell. I think it's trying to convey the idea of the fluidity and the ephemerality of human relationships of any kind. Like, I know people define most relationships as like either friendship or like romantic relationship, but sometimes it's a fine line. There's so many labels generated, but also the boundaries getting like blurrier. I don't know if it's a good thing or no, but it's definitely a trend. I think it's kind of comforting when you realize that there's not a correct way to categorize relationship. It's just so personal, and every relationship is so different. I think what's more important is the connection you have with one another, and how honest and straightforward you are with each other, and what you feel at the moment is the only thing that really matters, even though it won't really last forever. The ephemerality doesn't make what you had at the moment less real. Another book that I bought that's written by Sally Rooney, the author, is Conversation with Friends, and I think that one's about open relationship. I'm looking forward to reading that book too. She portrays human emotions and the thought process in such a like subtle, delicate way. She just portrays the detail with the accuracy and the emotional intensity in a way that I've never really seen before, and I just really enjoyed her words, and I would highly recommend it. So the next song I'm going to recommend is Me and It by Love and Lanny. So I've been pretty obsessed with Love, and I've been listening to a lot of him this past year, and I also went to his concert in October, and I didn't realize how many Love songs I know until I was at the concert and realized I've listened to every single one of them. Love has like he has been dealing with some of like mental illness, and his whole tour he's focusing on promoting the idea of like self-care and like seeking help if you have mental illness, and like being there for your friend who has it. But with that being said, a lot of Love songs in the past has been kind of like having this like depressing note to it, very delicate, very emotional, and maybe that's why I've been like resonating with a lot of them. And Mean It is actually like kind of like happier ones. It's just less heavy, but it's a good song to listen to when you're doing work. It's just like, I think the music I'm generally recommending are not intrusive. They're not too attention seeking. So like when you're actually doing work, you just play it at the back of your mind, and and it makes you happy. So the next I'm going to talk about is a movie, Before Sunrise. Most of you guys probably already heard of this movie. It is the first movie of the trilogy, the Before trilogy. So there's Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, and Before Midnight. So Before Sunrise is a story about an American guy who's traveling across Europe, and then during the last day of his trip, he met his beautiful French woman on the train, and then they started talking, and then they decided to get off the train and spend an evening together in Vienna. It's almost cliche when you hear me describe the story like this, but it's actually so much more than that. It's like how well the script is and how the conversation really flows naturally, and they like subtly portray all the detail of like the tension between them and like what the thoughts racing on their mind. You can almost hear it, different life experience that they've exchanged and things that they resonate with each other. It's just like the subtlety that really like, you know, speaks to me. And yeah, I think it's so well made, and the character is just very three-dimensional. They're just like real human with their flaws, and but they're still very much attracted to each other for the night. So last but not least, I'm going to talk about this movie that I watched last night that I want to recommend to people. It's called Marriage Story. It's on Netflix. It's starred by Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. It's about a couple that's going through a divorce and how things started, how things escalated, and during the whole legal process, how the synergy like changed. Up until like watching the movie, I like divorce to me is just a concept, but now it has like such a heavy weight just because of the effect it has on the family and the existence of like the divorce lawyers and the conversation they have, the interaction they have. It's just so kind of dehumanizing in a way. So like they can be so caring, and when they're in person they're affectionate, but in order for them to help their client win the case, they have to be such an asshole in court, trying to undermine and even hurt the opposite party, to victimize their own client, to skew the narrative so much that it makes their client actually believe in them and hold so much grudge against the other person that they considered family previously. And just seeing the dynamic, it's just so strange and like so impactful. The production is just very seamless, and the character development certainly like impeachable, I would say. So definitely give it a watch. And I mean, it's kind of heavy in the middle. Like I had to pause several times just to, you know, pull myself out of it a little bit, just because it's kind of depressing. But in general, a really good movie. Yeah, I hope that's not obnoxious, and I hope that you actually check them out. And I'm gonna go back to packing my stuff. See you guys soon.